live on the spew. Don't know how this show is still on air and how it's not canceled. But she admitted it live on the spew with the cackling hens. Oh boy.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
If any.
Oh, wait right there. Wait. Even CNN is destroying Kamala Harris. This is it for their campaign, y'all. This is it. You know, every single day I told y'all, trending viral for the wrong reasons. And now she's just hurting herself at this point. She's been hurting herself, but she's hurting herself even more at this point. You thought it was bad when Biden said we sing off the same song sheet? And Biden told you that she had a huge part? She played a huge role? This is it, man. And now she's doing more interviews than ever. Because again, hiding, as you can see, hiding killed her campaign. Hiding and run away from interviews. Your VP lost the debate. And now doing more interviews. Doing sex podcasts. This is it for her campaign, y'all. And even CNN called her out on it. CNN just destroyed her. Again, I don't see how this election isn't she's landslided out.
Done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Molly, what do you make of that?
I'm surprised, frankly, that she doesn't have more to say about this, given that she and her campaign know that this is one of the main questions that voters have about her. And one of the main things she's been trying to establish as part of her candidacy is the idea that she would represent a break from the past 4 years, and to not be able to come up with something to say in that moment. She continues to not be particularly nimble on her feet in a lot of these interviews, and this is a very obvious question that gave her an opportunity, frankly, to differentiate herself in a way that would have made news, that would have answered, I think, the curiosity of a lot of voters who want to know how she would lead differently, and she's not very specific in laying that out, and she can't point to a decision she would have made differently, which, you know, in an electorate that thinks that doesn't like the way this administration has led, and that doesn't like the track that the country is on, that may not be a very satisfactory answer.
I mean, it's a delicate.
Man, wow. There it is, y'all. There it is. I know y'all want to see it. And again, I know y'all probably have already seen this clip, because this is a viral clip that everybody's reposting, you know. Because when CNN started calling it out, you know it's bad. But it's not just CNN, it's everybody. Everybody. Biden tried to tell us. Meanwhile, he's dropped his snow cone, his slushy, in the sand. He don't even know where he's at. He don't even know that today is that we in October. Happy Halloween, Mr. President. Happy Halloween.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
And she went on The View and still couldn't get it right.
Whoa! What's going on, beautiful people? My brothers and sisters around the world. I hope everybody is blessed, well, healthy, and that nothing but the best is going on in all you beautiful people's life. In this corrupt scam matrix that we live in, man. In these dark times, man. We're wishing the best in everybody's life. One love to the human race. Like, I know I got to bring my brother on the show, because we finna keep it real, man. This is finna get real good, y'all. We keep it real. We don't sugarcoat it. We call it for what it is. We need common sense back, man. Prayers for Trump in the comments as well, because we don't know what to expect next. Prayers for October. Prayers to you guys and your family. As you see now, the hurricane victims and everything that's going on, man. FEMA, it's just it's bad, man. It's disgusting. But we send, you know, billions, war, illegals. I mean, it's just, but we the people come last. And I tell you, a vote for the Harris Walls ticket, that might be one of the worst tickets we've ever seen. Just another 4 years of the Biden-Harris administration. Just being real, you guys. Just being real. And we got she's on the spew. She just came off a 6 podcast where they talked about tampons. Meanwhile, all this is going on. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. Everything that's going on, she's on a 6 podcast. You know? But don't come in here throwing up on the floor. We got the spew with Sonny and all of them, Joy, you know, all the View, the spew. They all used to love Trump. And now they just spew out it's just disgusting. A complete embarrassment. I don't know how the show is still on air. But don't come in here throwing up on the floor. Make sure you got your bag. Only them patriots keep them bags with them now. Yes, indeed. I see some of y'all already walked in with your bags. Because we can't afford them cleaning supplies in this economy. You spend about $300, $400, $500 plus, and then and before tax, because we don't want to even put the taxes on there. In this economy, unbelievable. Let's go and jump in though, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Again, we keep it real, man. No sugar coating. That's why I had to bring my brother on the show. Yes, indeed.
They're not throwing softballs at her, Fabergé eggs at her. She is terrible. And then when they throw softballs at her, they let her lie without any retribution or without any conflict whatsoever. But that's why y'all watch me, because I'm finna show up and show out. All right. Woo! I'm not going to let her get away with it because she's a freaking nut job, just completely lying and being disingenuous like she know how to do.
Lie after lie, failure after failure, failed policy, and people still clap on these puppets. You know? And we continue to blame Trump for everything and wipe Trump and Vance through the mud. They say one thing, they take it and spin it again, reverse it again. And he don't even know where he at. He don't know if he's in neutral or in park. The poor president. Poor fella. Don't know if he's in neutral or park. And y'all be laughing. I'm just keeping it real. Oh, Mr. President, put it in reverse. Put it in reverse. I think it was. I think the engine stopped. He don't know what day it is. You know, unbelievable. A cheap fake, a deep fake, elderly abuse. But the Bidenomics is working. We're doing such an amazing job. It's working. Everything's working. We're doing such an amazing job. And then you look at reality. We the people come last. Millions struggling and dying. Dying as I'm recording this video.
Right? Let's get to this video. I'm going to show you. And listen, if you got a weak stomach, don't watch it. If your blood pressure is up right now, don't watch it. Let your blood pressure come down.
Let it come down.
Because I'm a young man and I literally are going to have a stroke listening to this foolery.
Foolishness, man.
But I watch it, I prepped it so you don't have to watch the full thing. But let's watch it so the world can see how ridiculous she is and how ridiculous these, Lord, I'm trying to be saved. How ridiculous these women are. Full panel of dumb women. All right, roll the clip.
Kamala, and I'm calling you Kamala because for all of those who are mispronounced.
Let me say this for a minute. How all of a sudden there's a referendum on the way you say Kamala Harris's name. I have never heard a day in my life anybody complaining about Kamala Harris's name until she became a candidate to run for president.
And they say if you don't say it right, you're racist. I'm the racist. Rick's racist. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if family, friends, or love. I don't care if people neglect me, if they don't like me no more. But we is sick and tired. I'm calling out the truth. And if you call me racist, if you think I'm this and that, guess what? I don't care. I still got love for you. Still got love for you and the family. But hey, Rick's keeping it real. Kamala, you know. Kamala, I don't care. Comrade, communist, I don't care what you want to, chameleon, however you like it. You know?
This year, not even 2020, this year, it became a problem. And you know why? Because they need to leverage something to call you a racist on. Oh, it's a racist, the reason they're not saying her name right. Really? Okay.
And I want you all to know how to say it. There we go. But let's talk about something you would do different from Donald Trump. Right now, there is a monster storm barreling towards my state of Florida, a place that's still reeling from Hurricane Helene. Trump is lying, claiming that the Biden administration is intentionally withholding aid from the areas where Republicans live, and that FEMA funds are being redirected to migrants. Ironically, that is something he did in 2019. What do you think the effect of these lies are, and why is he doing this?
Well, it's profound, and it is the height of irresponsibility and, frankly, callousness.
Yeah.
So lives are literally at stake right now. I traveled to Georgia and to North Carolina after Hurricane Helene. In Georgia, I met a woman who, just days earlier, her husband was killed in their home by a fallen tree.
Yeah.
Days later, I met with her and her daughter. You can imagine the pain, the shock that they are still in about what they experienced, what they witnessed. Yeah.
I don't believe it.
What are you going to do differently, fool? That's what she asked you. She didn't ask you to give a theatrical illustration of somebody losing their family member.
I mean, we're talking about real human beings and
Oh
their
my
lives.
God, bro. I don't see how anybody can listen to this. And I feel y'all pain. I do. You know? It's all script. It's all set up. It's all just, this woman is just a bot.
And I'm losing
You think you're fake human beings?
everything. Everything.
She don't care
This
about we
woman
the people,
lost
bro.
Her husband, her child lost her father. People are losing their home with no hope.
And you gave them $700.
$750.
You wicked witch.
And now some people can't even get it. They're getting denied. And now they're saying it's a loan. But $750. That's like 6 bags of groceries and 2 haircuts in the times we live in now.
You gave them $750. Like, who are you blaming, cuz?
Ever being able to reconstruct or return. And the idea that somebody would be playing political games for the sake of himself, but this is so consistent about Donald Trump. He puts himself before the needs of others. I fear that he really lacks empathy on a very basic level to care about the suffering of other people and then understand.
He went there before you did. He really don't have sympathy. He physically showed up when you weren't even there. You were on Call Her Daddy podcast talking about BJs and stuff. Now, she wasn't talking about BJs. That's the podcast scenario where that's what they talk about. Threesomes and all kind of stupid stuff.
Made you want to do Call Her Daddy today?
Well, I think you and your listeners have really...
Unbelievable, man. And I know this, I uploaded this clip, they blocked it because of the music.
Real.
You know.
People really care about it.
This is sad, man. You know.
The show is really about your listeners. This is a moment in the country and in heard and that they're part.
It's all gone.
And I'm really glad to be with you.
Stop the hunger in the
Unbelievable, man.
right now in North Gaza. Children.
You were too busy on that podcast. Donald Trump was with the people.
And the role of a leader is not to beat people down, it's to lift people up.
Absolutely.
Especially in a time of crisis.
Empty platitude.
As this massive storm is heading, it's about to hit Florida. You and Governor DeSantis have been going back and forth, trading jabs over your attempt to check in. And ahead of the storm, you've called him selfish for not taking your calls. Now, he said this morning you've never called regarding any of the storms Florida has had since you've been vice president until apparently now, and called it political.
And we've been laser focused on leveraging all resources available, including from the federal government. And I've been in touch with both FEMA and the president, as well as marshaling all our state agencies and working to support our local communities. And so for Kamala Harris, to try to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish is delusional. She has no role in this. In fact, she's been vice president for 3.5 years. I've dealt with a number of storms under this administration. She has never contributed anything to any of these efforts. And so what I think is selfish is her trying to blunder into this. No. And here's the thing. She has no role. No, she has no role in this process. I'm in contact with the President of the United States. I'm in contact with FEMA director. I'm obviously managing all our state agencies. We're supporting all our local government. And I will say this. I've had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I've worked well with both of them. She's the first one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly, and so she's playing these political games. I don't have time for political games. I've got people whose lives are on the line. I've got people whose homes and their possessions are on the line, and we are focused 100% on that mission. I'm not worried about playing her political games. And so she is being selfish by trying to blunder into this when we're working just fine.
What's your response?
Thank you, Ron DeSantis. I like him, man. Dang. You know, hopefully one day he run for president too, man, because I think he'll be a great president.
To that.
Yep.
Well, first of all, I have called and talked with, in the course of this crisis, this most recent crisis, Democrat and Republican governors. Called, taken the call, answered the call, had a conversation. So obviously, this is not an issue that is about partisanship or politics.
My blood pressure is up, y'all. This woman is not a presidential candidate, man.
For certain leaders, but maybe is for others. What you also know, and the issue of what's about to hit Florida, and your live show, so I just can't stress enough. This hurricane coming to Florida is and predicted to be historic in terms of how serious and devastating it will be. And I urge every and anybody who is watching or has family members in that area, please, please, please take seriously your local officials. Admonition to you, if they're telling you to evacuate, get your stuff and go. If they're, whatever they're telling you, because, you know, Floridians, tough folks, been through a lot. But this is going to be different than they've been before. And I know a lot of folks might think, I've been through this. I grew up here. I've seen it all. I'll be fine. This one is going to be different. And
not one time. Well, how deep we in this bit? 5 minutes deep, and she haven't mentioned what she would do differently than Donald Trump. She never answered the question.
And that's why I called the governor about what Florida has received in terms of impact. We have to have an agreement that at some point we all need to work together to combine resources, especially federal, state, and local resources around these kinds of disasters.
He's already been talking to Biden, the president, or allegedly. I don't know what he half dead.
And I think it's a shame that that hasn't happened, but look, it has at the local level and with, you know, other state elected. So
he'll take your call on your precedent.
And here's the thing you should know on that point. And when I'm president, I will continue to call him to see what he needs for help.
Saying you're not aware of that, and if so, how are you not aware of that?
So Biden called me a couple days ago with Helene when I was on the helicopter. I didn't have any issues. They had helped us with what we've done. I'm not aware that he's tried to call since then. Certainly hasn't called my phone, so I don't know quite where they're getting that information. At the same time, we got the approvals that we need. If there's something else that we need, you know, I'll hop on the phone very quickly, whether that's the FEMA administrator or the president, and we will press the case to be able to get approvals for what we need in Florida. But we have gotten approvals for everything that we've asked for.
Code in this area?
As far as Harris and you go?
I didn't know that she had called, so I'm not sure who they called. They didn't call me, and their characterization of it was something that they did. It wasn't anything that anybody in my office did in terms of saying that it was political.
Given the severity of the storm, since I did want to ask you about politics right now in terms of should should
I don't really want to answer questions about it. This is not a time for politics. No, excuse me, Gary. You and your publication will twist anything that's done to try to make a political agenda. That's what you do. That's how you get your clicks. I understand that. I understand that's the business model. Well, but I don't want to talk about politics because, but I have a feeling that however you do, you guys will find a way to frame it. That's just your shtick. I get it. It's fine. But I don't want to participate in it. We have had to respond to a Category 4 hurricane. We've had to prepare and now respond to something that may hit as a major hurricane, may be Category 4, may even be bigger than that. We hope that it does. But that should be the focus. And I think some of these questions are trying to create some type of political angle where there's just none there. What we've asked for has been approved. You're not seeing me out there carping or complaining about anything. We have gotten what we need from the feds. We have been working constructively with all the local communities. We have marshaled an incredible amount of resources.
The governor.
We've always.
Miss Joe Biden, what Joe Biden had to say about it.
As far as the governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday, and I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it. And I literally gave my personal phone number to call. So I don't know. There was a rough start in some places, but every governor from Florida to North Carolina has been fully cooperative and supportive and acknowledged what this team is doing. And they're doing an incredible job.
Yeah, so she's still lying. All right, we got more. Y'all hold the phone. This is the most damning clip of Kamala Harris. This is probably the most damning clip. If I don't have any other clip, this is the clip you need to pay attention to.
Right here.
Listen to what she said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact. Yeah. The work that we have done, for example, capping the cost of insulin at $35 a month for our seniors is something I care deeply about.
What about inflation?
About allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices.
Yes.
And bring the
what
cost
about
of prescription medication down for seniors, but
about
my
the people that
intention
don't
is to
use
expand that for all
prescription
Americans.
medication?
The work we have done to invest in American industries, whether it be in terms of manufacturing and creating.
Why are people feeling like the economy is going south for them? Why is inflation out of control and wages are not keeping up with inflation? Why can people not buy homes like they used to? Why is the interest rates crazy?
Crazy, man.
Interest rates are crazy, man. I mean, people will be saving tens of thousands of dollars given these interest rates. I just bought 2 cars. Well, I traded in and then upgraded 2 cars. And the interest rate was 4%, 2% on the other car. And I got a dang near 850 score. I got close to an 800 score. I was 820, but it went down a little bit. I got like almost an 800 credit score, right around 800. And I think the interest rate was like 8 or 9%.
Shit.
4%, a double interest rate.
Y'all, when I went and got my Corvette, they were talking. What was it? The first when it first came back, it was 14%. Then they got it down to 9 and 8. Yes, we're on the same page. And what I got I had a 770. Was it 780? I think it was a 780 or something like that. You know, and I've bought, a couple cars these past 4 years. You know, I got a good credit history, y'all. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, no matter which way you look at it, no matter how much money you got, no matter what this is, it is ridiculous. They should be ashamed of themselves, man. Heartbreaking, man. Y'all know how many people we've donated to this year? How many GoFundMe's? How many people we've cashed at? You know, how many people man, it's ridiculous, man. And I'm thankful and grateful that I'm in the position to love on you guys, man. You guys have loved on me. Thank you to all the ones, our kind donators, to the ones who, I'm telling you, man, it has been a life-changing, a blessing of what we've been able to do on this channel. You know, but people are struggling. People are dying, man. It is sick. And what we do, we blame Trump for everything. That's what kills me. We blame Trump for everything.
And then the other car was at 2%. We were at 2%, and it went up to 8%. Like, that's 4 times the interest rate. Think about buying a house. Like, maybe 4 years ago, you could afford that house to make the payments at the interest rate they were offering. And now you can't afford that same house. And the housing prices is going up and up and up and up. That house is far gone. You'll never be able to afford that house at the rate that you are getting raises, or the rate that you're finding a job with inflation. You're still underwater, and the interest rates are up, so you're even more underwater. So people are missing the American dream because idiots like this one.
Incompetent.
Let me finish the clip.
Almost 800,000 new jobs around manufacturing. Those were all a shared priority.
But they don't mention nothing about the border. They don't mention nothing about all the catastrophic things that she's done that people are complaining about. People are not complaining about maybe y'all did 2 or 3 things right. That's fine. But most people are struggling. And it's not fair that y'all put them in that position. All right, I just had to debunk a few things on The View. I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that I didn't talk about, but y'all can go watch it on your own. But I just had to show what kind of fool she is. And I encourage you guys to go and watch that 60 Minute. That was insane. I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. We definitely going to check out his version of 60 Minutes. We did like 2 or 3 videos. The first one we did got blocked. So, man. And again, they probably going, there's a lot of censorship and a lot of strict, they from the crackdown, especially these next 20 days before this, election. So we do got to be careful, you guys. But thank y'all for stopping by. We keeping it real, man. I love y'all, and I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.